Okay, we are a few minutes past the hour now, so let's go ahead and officially start the call. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the May 2020 edition of InfluxData Community Office Hours. We're glad you're able to join us. As a reminder, this call is all about helping to answer your questions. So if you have anything you'd like to ask as we go along, please feel free to use the Q&A option that you'll find on your screen in the Zoom menu. This is, after all, a community call, so we want to encourage all of your questions, comments, conversation, and hopefully be able to help you out with anything you have questions about or that you're struggling with. Just to introduce myself to everyone, I am Michael Ellis, Community Manager here at InfluxData. Additionally, on the call with us today is our awesome group of panelists and presenters. Today, we're joined by Daniel Campbell, Product Designer here at InfluxData, Samantha Wang, Product Manager, and Anais Dotis-Georgiou, who is a wonderful developer advocate here at InfluxData. We also have Caitlin, Chris Chirillo, and Michael Hall, a fellow community manager, on the call. So thank you all so much for being here and joining us. As a quick reminder, this call will be recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel for later viewing. So we'd like to start off with a short update and presentation. Today we'll be hearing from Daniel Campbell, who will be sharing an InfluxDB Open Source update with us on the multi-user feature. Daniel, would you like to introduce yourself to the group and take it away?
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel Campbell. As Michael mentioned, I'm product designer here at InfluxData. Lately, I've been working on a new project, which is going to add the ability to add multiple people to your organization. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and also
stop the share then.
Okay. So share screen. Alrighty, here we go. So before I begin, I have a question, single question. What is the size of your team? And Michael, would you be able to kick off that poll there? Awesome. So you should see a Zoom poll that's popped up, and it is a single question. What is the size of your team? More specifically, what is the size of the team that is working with InfluxDB in your organization? Just take a few minutes and choose one of those options on there, and we'll come back to that. So the new feature that we've added is the ability to add multiple users to a single organization within InfluxDB Cloud. This will enable you to share data and dashboards and other resources within the application. Previously, you would have to share your credentials with someone else, and then they would use those same credentials and log into the application. But now everyone can have their own credentials, and it'll be more secure, and you'll be able to see everyone who's working within your organization. I'm going to run through a quick demo, and the demo is going to show you how to find the new feature in the application. It's going to show you how to invite users into your organization. It's going to show what it'll look like from a perspective of someone who is going to join your organization. And I'll go over a few user management tools that will allow you to manage the people within your organization. This is a brand new feature. This is the first phase of this feature that we've rolled out. And it lays a lot of the groundwork for where we want to take this in the future. So let me jump right into that demo. And is everyone able to vote in the poll? Awesome. Cool. All right. So the new feature here is going to be found under the profile menu. And if you all haven't seen it before, our left navigation has changed a bit. You can find it here under the person icon, or if you have the menu expanded, you'll find it under the same. And it is going to be right here, users. And if you had it collapsed and you pop that out, it'll be right here, users. And that'll take you to a new page that we have, which is on our organization page. So here we have this panel where you can invite new people to your organization. You have your list of people that are currently in your organization, the status of them, if they've accepted the invitation or if the invitation is still pending. And as you see, an invitation doesn't last forever, so it will expire after a certain amount of time, but you are able to resend that invitation if you need to. So let's go ahead and try to add a new person. Our organization that we're working with here today is Shark Lasers, and as you can see, all of our Sharky employees are here. So let's add a new person. Let's say we wanted to add a whale shark to our Shark Lasers organization. So we just type in their email address. And currently, the only role that everyone will have is that of owner. And in the future, we'll be adding more roles and more permissions. And then you hit add an invite. You get a confirmation that the invitation has been sent. You can see them pop up on the list here. And until they accept that invitation, it'll show that the invitation has an expiration date. According to the poll, it looks like most of the people in this group have about 5 to 10 people in their organization. So they would end up having to run through this about 5 to 10 times. In the future, we'll also add bulk and other ways of bringing people into your organization. So now let's say that this person who we invited, Hammerhead, was previously invited with this email address, Shark Lasers. And then we realized that our Hammerhead employee, or this Hammerhead user, actually uses a different email address with InfluxDB. Let's say we need to then remove this one because this is no longer the correct address for them. You can go down here, hit this delete icon. It will be withdraw invitation. It'll give you a confirmation to withdraw the invitation, and it'll be removed. And that invitation will no longer be valid. So now let's say that we want Hammerhead to join this organization. Let's see what that will look like from Hammerhead's perspective. They'll get an email that looks like this. It'll say you're invited. It'll tell them who invited them. And it'll give them a big button for them to press to join the organization, or they can copy this URL. For our purposes here, we'll go ahead and copy that URL into a new browser. And this is the screen that Hammerhead will see. When they try to join this organization, they'll be presented with a screen to provide their name and a password that will be used with their login. So let's go ahead, Hammerhead, last name Shark, provide a password. And then they will agree to the terms and services, join this organization. There is a version of multi-user that exists within OSS currently, and this version is for cloud. So now Hammerhead is able to join this organization. They didn't have to do all the other organization setup things that the original owner of the organization had to do. But now if they go over to dashboards, they have access to all of the dashboards in that organization. They can see all the laser logs and they can see all the shark stats. So now let's go back over to our admin view. This is our first user here. So now that Hammerhead has accepted it, we see that they are active. One thing that you may want to do in the future too is clean up your users. Let's say you have a user, Tiger Shark, who's no longer with the organization. You can simply go here to remove them, and it will completely remove them from this organization. If you needed to, say, resend an organization, let's say Tiger came back, or let's say Will couldn't find the email that you sent them before. You could re-invite Tiger by adding their email address here. Or since this invitation for Whale is already still pending, you can go over here, hit resend, and it'll send a new invitation to them. And that is the beginnings of our multi-user feature within InfluxDB. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Daniel. If it's all right with you, I'd like to go ahead and share my screen. And you already answered Peter's question, but just for anyone who may have missed it in the chat, Peter asked, is this functionality that we're seeing right now for the cloud product only, or is it also available in the open source edition?
Yes, so the version that is in open source is not changing. That version is still there. That way, if you're using open source, then there's an API for adding multiple people to the organization. This version of multi-user is specific to cloud too. So if you want to bring people into your team in cloud, then you can go through this new flow.
Awesome, wonderful. And feel free to use the Q&A feature on your Zoom if you have any further questions for Daniel, which is a great segue for this portion of the call, which is the time on the call where we want to hear from you, our users. So if you have any questions, whether it's about multi-user or just a general question about InfluxDB, we'd love to hear from you. You can use the Q&A feature on your Zoom screen to submit your question. You can use the chat box, or if you'd like to kind of explain things out a little bit, you can request to be unmuted via the chat as well. So we'll pause for just a moment and see if we have any questions coming in from the community. Michael asks, in Flux, can I have multiple files?
Can you describe what you mean by multiple files? Do you mean multiple Flux scripts? Yeah, a little bit more detail would be helpful. You can run multiple Flux scripts, for example, in a dashboard, and visualize multiple Flux scripts at the same time. And you can also run multiple tasks.
Great. If you have anything further you'd like to ask Michael, go ahead and use the Q&A feature to do that. Peter has asked to be unmuted, so give me just a moment to pull up the participant list. All right, Peter, you are allowed to speak. You may need to manually click the microphone to unmute yourself.
Testing, 1,
Hey,
2. Hello, everyone. Regards from the Netherlands here. My name is Peter Beerdeman. Thanks so much for sharing this feature and giving us the opportunity to get in touch. So I have a small list of questions, but maybe to keep things relevant to the subject at hand. What are your thoughts on using machine learning to do forecasting within the InfluxDB 2.0 ecosystem?
Hi.
Question for Anais.
Yeah, hi. Right now, I think the best solution is probably to pull your data out of Influx using a client and then do the forecasting elsewhere and then pull it out and then push it back into Influx if you're looking for custom solutions. Otherwise, you can take advantage of really simple techniques for anomaly detection like employing standard deviation and stuff like that with 2.0 and also using Holt Winters. But yeah, I think you're just gonna have to pull the data out.
Right, cool. Because I was looking in the channels about the machine learning stuff, and people were pointing to stuff like what was it called, Prophet and LoudML. Is there any other of these kind of packages that you would recommend?
I highly recommend the ADTK library, the Anomaly Detection Toolkit library, if you're looking to do anomaly detection. And then I also recommend looking into using ARIMA or AutoARIMA for forecasting, because those are, especially AutoARIMA, is relatively simple to use.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Peter, did you have any other questions?
I have a full list of them. I don't know if there's anyone else who's waiting for their turn. So
We have someone I think is about to elaborate, but feel free to ask more questions. That's what we're here for. So what's your next question, Peter?
Yeah, so I was wondering from our point of view, so we're a software agency in the Netherlands. We're getting a lot of requests for businesses to get more insights into their data, but it's not really their server data, but it's more like business related data, and they request things like Microsoft Power BI or these kind of point and click solutions to create dashboard. And I'm seeing InfluxDB ecosystem, including for now Grafana, because I haven't had that much time to spend with the new chronograph yet. But a lot of people are interested in this. Is this something that you would be aiming at as sort of your market to how do you say this? Adjust the product to, or is it will it always be more aimed at the server and the operations type of users?
Well, you're in luck, Peter. We actually have Samantha from the product team on the call today, and she should be able to help with this question.
Yeah, you're kind of just asking, are we looking to expand out to less kind of DevOps technical users? Is that kind of your question?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a lot of the work that Daniel and their team is doing is we are seeing kind of a different type of user come to cloud too. So we're making sure that the user experience, especially within our cloud product and cloud UI, is kind of expanding outside of that DevOps experience and can be fully utilized by a broader group of users. And I think that just contributes to our user growth as well. So yeah, yes is the quick answer.
Nice. Yeah, maybe it would also be nice just to elaborate on it in the Slack community as well. I'm sharing some of my projects that I'm creating with the product right now, which is mostly a non-server related. And we can just see what the response is, and if people will elaborate on that or will hook on into it and see what other ways you could visualize data inside Influx.
I also shared in the chat a link from another community user who integrated Flux with Power BI, and I haven't tried it out, but you might want to look into that if that interests you. I'd also be really interested to hear about what it is that you're looking to do with forecasting, and if you want to share your story, I will put a link in to the chat as well, where I'm trying to get community users talking more about what they're doing with Influx and forecasting.
Sure thing.
Sweet, thank you.
All right.
And I'm going to selfishly turn the tables on you, Peter, real quick. Where in the Netherlands are you located?
We're located in Amsterdam, and I'm actually now calling in from Purmerend, which is a nice countryside city, like 20 minutes away from Amsterdam.
Well, that's awesome. I spent 6 months in Rotterdam in college.
Nice.
Yeah, so thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for adding your questions. It looks like we have a question that came in from Pravan. Pravan asks, will there be any updates to Telegraph's config management in the near releases? Currently, it's very static and requires rolling update on Kubernetes deployment. I'm looking to manage Telegraph through an SDN controller, so I'm looking for flexible config management.
Yeah, I can take that. Michael. Yeah, Pravan, this is actually something that has come up a lot and kind of even just the last couple of weeks. Right now, there's no configuration management tool that we have for Telegraph, but there has been a lot of requests on just how you can roll out different configurations to kind of what we would call classify as classes of Telegraph plugins or where you're monitoring. I think I'm trying to find a blog that talks about how to do this in a roundabout way currently. But this is definitely something that is in our we understand this is a big interest and on our roadmap. So Let me see if I can find that blog too and send it out.
Great. Well, while you're looking for that, I'll ask again, if anyone has any questions, now's a great time to go ahead and get them in. Just taking a look at the chat here to see. Oh, awesome. Michael, I see you shared a link to the InfluxData community page. Is that related to a question, or is that a question that you had posted previously? Let's see if I can follow that link and take a look real quick. Peter does have some more questions. Peter, we'll go ahead and unmute you while I follow this link and try to unravel what Michael's asking. You are now unmuted.
Hello again. Back to my list of questions. One question that was burning for me, and maybe also a little bit of a commercial aspect from my point of view. So you're the team behind that's actually developing this product, right? And you're using this cloud solution. Is there like plans for an ecosystem where you would partner up with agencies to get sort of more of a footprint on the ground, also abroad, maybe even in the Netherlands, to be where we would be able to help out specific clients getting their time series databases and their dashboarding up and running? Or is this something that's on the roadmap?
That's a great question. Would someone from our product team like to take this?
Sorry, do you mind repeating the question? I was searching for this blog.
Hello, I'm still on unmuted, right? Yeah. So maybe long story short, are there any plans to create like a partner program for agencies that love the product and want to help out their customers or customers that are interested in InfluxDB to assist them with installation, implementation, integration with their systems?
I'm not fully aware of any.
I can take that question, you guys. This is Chris Torillo. So yeah, we definitely would love to chat with you. I will send you a note separately about our partnership program. We do have a wide range of partners ranging from OEMs to system integrators like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So we can definitely talk about that. So I'll send you an email separately.
Very nice. Thanks so much.
Wonderful. And Michael has requested to be unmuted. So Michael, give me just a moment. Peter, I'm going to put you back on mute. And Michael, just to let you know, you are now unmuted, but you may need to click the microphone.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So my question about the Flux files is basically, if you have a bunch of different functions in Flux and you want to have some of the functions in one file and some of the functions in another, according to the blog post that I just posted to you guys, it looks like the raw code person, I don't remember his name, answered my question on April 18th saying, you know, you cannot do it. And I was just wondering if that status has changed. That's why I asked the question.
I can take this question. So the Flux team is still working on long-term plans to support separate third-party Flux packages. But for now, they've opened up a contrib repository inside of the Flux codebase to start pulling in third-party code that's being contributed. And that will let you separate stuff out from the main standard libraries, but it still has to be inside the FluxLang codebase for it to find it.
Okay, so I need to do a recompile of my Flux basically interpreter or whatever in order to be able to pull everything in.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So there's progress being made, but it's not quite there yet.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you very much.
The chat has some more information about that for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you for asking. I'll go ahead and place you back on mute. If you have any other questions, just let us know and we'll be happy to toggle you back. And just taking a quick look here, it appears that we've answered the questions that we have currently in the queue, which is great. We can go ahead and give some quick updates and announcements. And if you have any last minute questions, we'll have a moment to circle back to those just after the announcements. So we'd love for you to engage with us. So if you'd like to get more involved with the conversation or more involved with the community, we have some amazing ways for you to do that. I encourage everyone to hop over to the InfluxDB community portal, which can be found at influxdata.com/community. It's a great place to poke around, ask questions, find help, learn solutions, share ideas, and follow discussions. We also have a Slack workspace that is open to the entire community. It can be accessed via influxdata.com/Slack. This is a great place to meet other community members, share your knowledge, and get help from other people that are using InfluxDB, as well as getting help from our staff members that hang out in the channels. Even if you don't have a support issue or a technical question, we encourage you to come by Slack, join the community channel, introduce yourself, and socialize with other members of the community. So if you haven't already done that, hop over to our Slack and join. And if you're a Redditor, we have the InfluxDB subreddit that's available for you in case you want to pop over and check that out. It's currently a growing community, and we'd love for more people to take part. And a couple of quick announcements that we want to share with everyone. The first announcement is all about the time series meetup. Time series meetups are events for everyone, including all those individuals who are passionate about time series data and how it can be utilized, as well as people that are just curious about the topic and maybe interested in learning more. The time series meetups, they take place all around the globe, and right now, with everything that's going on, we're coming together virtually. So if you're interested in participating, hop over to meetup.com after the call and check for a time series meetup in your area. It's a great place to learn about upcoming events, activities, and learn more about time series in general. Currently, we're doing these virtually via Zoom webinar. So even if there's not a time series meetup that is taking place, meetup group rather, taking place in your city, you can still join us remotely. So it's a great opportunity if there's maybe not a meetup community in your small town. It's a great opportunity to join us virtually and take place. So we hope that you're able to join us. Our next meetup is scheduled to take place on May 28th, and we'll be joined by our special guest, Robert from ClickHouseDB, who'll be sharing his topic there. So if you'd like to join us, hop over to the URL listed on the screen and register for an upcoming meetup. And if you're on this call, you already know something about the community office hours. We do hold these community office hours once a month, always on the third Wednesday. And we'd love for you to stop in again. We have different folks from InfluxData join us and share on different topics. So be sure to check back and see what we'll be presenting on next. As I mentioned, office hours are scheduled for the third Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And our next call is scheduled for June 17th, which is the third Wednesday in June. So if you're interested in learning more or you have more questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to come back and join us again. We're always excited to see community members returning to the call. On the Influx website, we have our community page, which is a central resource for all things community. Here we list upcoming events where Influxers are going to be, as well as upcoming talks by our amazing developer advocates, like Anais, who's on the call with us today. We also have information on community programs, upcoming webinars, interesting articles that have been shared by the community, as well as other initiatives that we have in place for the community and our users. So it's a great resource if you're looking for ways to connect with the community where you live or online. And real quick about Influx Days, which is our virtual conference. The upcoming Influx Days conference was originally scheduled to take place in London. So now we're doing it virtually. So this is the first time we'll be hosting Influx Days virtually, and we're offering it at zero cost to all attendees. So that's something that's really exciting and we're really proud of. So if you're interested in checking out some great presentations on all things time series, It's a really great opportunity for you to do so. We hope that you're able to join us for great talks, presentations, and learning more about time series at Influx Days. And also, if you hop over to the influxdays.com website, you can learn about our next conference that's coming up in November. It was originally scheduled for San Francisco, but it's going to be virtual as well. We're still looking for great speakers for our Influx Days taking place in November. So if you're interested in presenting, hop over to influxdays.com. You can learn more about the event and click to submit your CFP. So if that's something that interests you, be sure to check that out. All right, I'm going to do one last check for questions. It looks like Michael has another question and Peter as well. So let's go ahead and we'll get Michael first. Michael, you are now unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, cool. Hey, I asked you guys this question about a month ago, and Tim Hall said that you guys were starting, I believe, to work on a Russ client for InfluxDB. I was wondering, did you guys start working on the Russ client yet, or still in the future?
Who would like to take this?
If we have, I don't think we've released any Rust client yet, so so it's still on our in our to do.
So the comment I would have is that the Rust client should be fairly simple. Just thinking about it, because the parser for Flux is already in Rust, and so a lot of sort of the infrastructure code should probably already be there. So I was just curious, would it be possible to find out maybe who on the dev team would be the candidate person working on that project when and if you guys start working on it?
Yeah, all our client libraries are actually built out by a third party. So I may be able to find their GitHub repo that you might be able to go in and comment on.
So there is a Rust client by a third party for the 1.x series, but I was wondering, do you guys officially like say that this is a Rust, this is a client that you guys not support but acknowledge, something like that?
That we acknowledge, like that we want to have done. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, basically, when you say the Rust clients are done, all of the clients, the Go clients, done by third party too, not within Influx.
It's a group that we work really closely. Anais actually slacked it out. Bonito is the group the group of engineers that we work really closely with.
Oh, really? So they would be the ones that would do the Rust client?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Maybe working with some of our engineers as well on feedback, but
okay,
they would.
Cool. So what is their GitHub?
I think Anais slacked it out. I mean, not slacked it out. Sorry. Oh, I think she just did it privately. I'll do it.
I think I put it in the chat.
I think you did it.
So that's visible to Peter and panelists, but it's not visible to all participants.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
I just resent it. Oh, wait, no, okay.
Perfect, yep, there it is. You should be able to see it now, Michael.
Okay, hold on.
No, I think I did all, there you go.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool, thank you.
Just in case.
Got it, thanks.
Awesome, thank you for your question, Michael.
You're welcome, thank you.
And one final question came in from Peter. Any plans on Docker containers for 2.0, especially ARM, since I'm running mostly experimental stuff on Raspberry Pi?
I'll take that one. The short answer is yes. As we get closer to GA for 2.0, we're looking into a lot of our packaging and trying to improve that. We are, I believe, looking at ARM 64 support. But I don't think we're going to do ARM 32. So as long as you've got a Raspberry Pi 3 or higher, you should be okay there.
Great. Thank you, Peter, for asking, and thank you, Michael, for helping Peter to answer that question. So it looks like we've come to the end of all the questions that we have from the community. I want to thank you both, everyone that's been participating and who joined the call today. We hope you can join us again on June 17th for our next community office hours. We look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you, everyone.